Do you remember back in 2019 when President Trump offered to buy this island? The world treated it like a reality TV stunt. The media laughed. Denmark was offended. But here we are, 7 years later. Nobody is laughing anymore. Because in 2026, the strategy has shifted from buying to building. The United States didn't need a deed to the land. They just needed the keys to the driveway. And right now, we are witnessing the largest construction mobilization in the history of the Arctic. Why the rush? Why now? Because the data just came in. The Arctic Ocean was ice-free for 4 months this year. The Russian Northern Sea Route is fully operational. China is moving cargo over the top of the world. The back door to the United States is wide open, and Washington has finally decided to slam it shut. The hypersonic reality. Let's talk about why the Pentagon is pouring concrete in sub-zero temperatures. It's not about fighting soldiers on the ground. It's about what's happening in the upper atmosphere. Back in 2020, hypersonic missiles were a scary prototype. Today, in 2026, they are deployed. Real. These weapons don't fly in a high arc like the old ICBMs. They skip off the atmosphere like a stone on a pond. They fly low, fast, and unpredictable. The old radar systems at Thule Air Base, now Pituffik, were designed to look up. They weren't designed to look down and fast. That is why, if you look at the ice sheet today, you see the new over-the-horizon sensor array. We are building a digital fence across the roof of the world. This is the trillion-dollar shield. It uses AI-driven tracking to spot a heat signature moving at Mach 5 against a background of cold ice. This isn't a Cold War relic. This is the 2026 frontline. If we lose the ability to see from Greenland, we lose the ability to defend New York. It is that simple. The robotic gold rush. Now let's look at the ground. For years, the argument against mining in Greenland was the human cost. It's too cold for workers, they said. It's too dark. But in the last 5 years, robotics technology has changed the equation. Go to the Kevinfield site today. You won't see thousands of men in parkas shivering with pickaxes. You will see autonomous haul trucks, the size of houses, running in total silence 24 hours a day. These machines don't care that it is minus 40 degrees. They don't care that it is dark for 3 months straight. We are seeing the rise of the dark mine. Fully automated extraction sites controlled by operators sitting in warm rooms in Nevada or Copenhagen. They are digging for neodymium and dysprosium, the vitamins of the modern economy. In 2019, we relied on China for 80% of these minerals. In 2026, the goal is to get that number down to 0. Greenland is the battery pack that allows the West to unplug from the East, and the scale of it is staggering. We are talking about moving entire mountains to get to the veins of that make your Neuralink chips and your fusion reactor magnets work. The nuclear solution. But here is the engineering problem that stumped everyone until recently. Energy. How do you power a robotic mine in the middle of a frozen wasteland? You can't ship millions of gallons of diesel fuel through ice-choked waters. It's too expensive and too risky. This was a concept a few years ago. Now, it's hardware on the ground. The U.S. has begun deploying these nuclear batteries to strategic sites in Greenland. These are sealed units, safe, clean, and powerful. They drop them in, turn them on, and they run for 10 years. This is the game changer of 2026. It allows us to build heavy industry in places that were previously impossible to inhabit. It allows us to refine the ore right here on the island. Instead of shipping tons of raw rock across the ocean, we are turning Greenland into an industrial powerhouse, powered by the atom, the ice highway network. So, how do we move the goods? The ice is melting, yes, but the ground is turning to mud. The permafrost is collapsing. Traditional roads are useless here. That is why we are seeing the rollout of the hoverbarge logistics system. Forget asphalt highways. In 2026, we are using massive, air-cushioned vehicles that float over the tundra. They can carry 500 tons of cargo over ice, water, mud, or snow. They don't need a road. They just need a route. This infrastructure is fluid. It adapts to the changing climate. It connects the mines in the interior to the new floating ports on the coast. These ports are another marvel. Since the glaciers are calving massive icebergs that would crush a normal dock, we are building docks that can move. They are massive, dynamic platforms that detach and float away when the radar detects an iceberg incoming. It is agile infrastructure for a hostile world. The Trump legacy and the New Deal, politically, the landscape has settled. The shock of the 2019 Buy Greenland offer has faded into a pragmatic understanding. The deal didn't happen as a real estate transaction. It happened as a security pact. The trillion-dollar basis wasn't a check written to Denmark. It is the cumulative value of the assets we are placing there. The U.S. is essentially leasing the strategic geography. In return, Greenland is getting the infrastructure of a modern nation. Airports in Nuuk and Ilulissat have been expanded to handle heavy military transport and commercial cargo. Fiber optic cables now run from the U.S. through Greenland to Europe, a Polar Connect line, making this island a global data hub. The Greenlandic people are finding themselves at the center of the world economy. They are the gatekeepers, and they are negotiating hard. They know that in 2026, their land is worth more than gold. The final frontier. As we look out at the gray, choppy waters of the Arctic Ocean, we have to admit that the map has changed forever. The white spot at the top of the globe is gone. It is now blue water and gray rock. The race that started with a joke about buying an island has turned into the most serious geopolitical contest of our time. We are building the bases. We are digging the mines. We are patrolling the new ocean. The United States has realized that there is no America first without Arctic first. So, the next time you look at your phone or check the GPS in your car, remember where the materials came from, and remember who is standing guard in the cold, dark night of the North to make sure the signal keeps coming. This is 2026, and the Arctic is open for business.
As we stand here in 2026, looking at the lights of this new industrial frontier, it is hard to believe that just a few years ago, the idea of American bases in Greenland was treated as a joke. But the reality around us proves that while the world was laughing, the engineers were busy building. We have witnessed a complete transformation, turning a frozen wilderness into the most strategic asset on the planet, and proving that the future belongs to those brave enough to build it. This trillion-dollar investment isn't just about concrete and steel. It is about securing the minerals in your pocket and the safety of the sky above your head. The sleeping giant of the Arctic has finally awakened, and the United States has ensured that it is on our side. The map has changed forever, and for the first time, the ice isn't a barrier, it's a bridge. If this deep dive into the future opened your eyes, don't just keep it to yourself. We are documenting this shift as it happens, so please hit that like button to support the channel. It really makes a difference. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because the world is moving fast, and we have many more stories to tell. Stay curious, and I will see you in the next one.